Another tough.
Wow. Hey, how are you? Welcome to Mike and the Minifans. I'm joined by people who have been calling this probably the number one panel ever assembled. We're joined by Sig. Sig, hey, how are you? I think first time on the program.
Yeah, first time. Excited to be here.
Beauty. I'm also joined by Kane. Kane is able, a classic. Everyone knows Kane is able. Hot take Kane, they call him. What's up?
I'm excited to be here.
Beautiful. And then we got the most polarizing man in the Minifan universe, Mr. Snell. Snell, any mail lately?
I'm so glad to be surrounded by just such exemplary individuals like you guys. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Actually, this show, we actually got a sponsor for this show. It's Spiegel Scrap. The Montante is now he's about to buy an island because he made a lot of money off Joe Budden coin and Trump coin. So now he's rich. Montante's rich. So he threw us a few Joe Budden coins. He said if anyone likes, everyone has to like, retweet, and subscribe. And Montante is not cheating on Joe Budden coin for 5 to 10 people who does it. So it's I'm pretty excited. We the Joe Budden coin. Have you guys invested in any of these coins? You see, like they're like some guys getting like $200 turning into $1 million. It's fucking nuts.
I thought Montante was dead. I haven't seen him in so long, but it's good to hear he's still kicking. Jesus.
Yeah, he's rich now. It's crazy.
Is he trying to create like another Epstein Island? Is that his plan, or?
Well, so I think so. Joe Budden coin was up, and everyone's like, "We're gonna have our own island." Then it went down, and they're kind of trying to pool together some stuff for an island. So, we'll see. But we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Crazy week. It was like at the first week back, I think, since Portland. It was kind of the 3 M's dictated the week: Mick, Mud, and Menners. You know, it was three psychopaths, I would say, in their own respected way. So I think we should start with Mick. I think Mick is Mick took the 1 seed this week as being a psycho. Well, I don't know. Like, so I guess we'll go around the room first. Al or Mick? Who did you have winning? Who's more psycho? We'll start with you, Kane.
So I listened to the episode 4 times, and in the beginning, I was Team Al, and it slowly started to go back and forth. And before the end of it, I kind of was with Mick on this. I think Mick is doing well. Actually, let's just say it this way: he's kind of proved Al wrong. You know, he's at the point now where Kirk is saying like, "You're the next one." So he's done what he said he was going to do, and if he does get the job, I think Al should watch out because he is going to rub that shit, his nuts right in his face, which will be great to see. I thought there was some great lines from the show, and he kept it where you could just see the insecurity where I've seen this before. I think his father and mother think he's not doing what he's supposed to do, and the brothers in there talking behind his back, which was also kind of a scummy move. And but I thought by the end of it, I felt kind of on Mick's side because he's kind of proved him wrong, you know, in the end of the day.
Well, like I like that because they were talking about like Mick loves the song "Chasing Cars," and Al and Kirk are laughing it up, saying, "Oh, that's a girl thing." But isn't like gossiping with your mom about your brother like a girl thing? You know?
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know, so
that's a mama's boy thing.
Mama's boy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a mama's boy, and that's a mama's boy thing. That's what mama's boys do.
You and your mom gossip. You guys gossip about your siblings.
I don't have any siblings, but you gossip about family drama and all that stuff. I definitely recognize 2 mama's boys when I see one. When I see 2.
That's true.
So
But-
Al versus Mick, what are your we'll get into it, but what are your general thoughts now?
Knee-jerk reaction, Team Al, just for like normal humanity's sake. But being a fan of the Kirk Minahan show and loving the craziness, how could you not love Mick's performance on that episode? You said we're going to get into it more, but like, I mean, everything from the wedding, his bartending, his brother's therapy sessions, everything's about Mick. I can't help but love the guy.
Yeah, Mick is a big me guy. Like that was funny when he was like, I wonder what you're saying to the therapist about me. Like you're not giving me
not telling his side. Not telling his side of the story.
You're not telling.
Yeah, then they're all in like
side.
unison. Like, yes, you need therapy. Like, do you think I should go to therapy?
The Little League thing was hilarious though, because like,
oh my
Mick,
god!
now, I know Mick's probably listening.
Yeah.
You were 13 years old facing 10-year-olds. This guy's like, I was an MVP of the league. Like, you were 13, Mick. Like,
Well,
holy
shit. He did. He must be. He took a Little League leap year. Like he had a Little League leap year. So that
was a great one. That was awesome.
That was awesome. Actually, Jack Daniels or whatever, Jay Daniels to New England said, or he said, Al and Mick once a month. I could. It would be nice to see that. I think this is a good maybe once a month, but once every couple months to get them in and start hashing it out. That would be good. It was one of my favorite shows in a while.
Awesome.
I don't really listen to shows a second time. Like I'm not one of those guys like Patrick Ford who's like I listen on every platform, whatever. But this one I actually listened back because I felt like there was stuff you missed on the first listen. But Sig, what do you think? Al versus Mick, general thoughts, and then we'll get into it.
Well, I'm definitely Team Al. Just the fact that Mick can't really define what he's looking for from him, like in support. Like if you can't tell him and give him a clear answer, there's no way he can support you the way you want him to. So it's just like he just needs to figure out how to like talk more, about that stuff with his brother. But yeah, I'm definitely Team Al.
Yeah, so I don't know who I'm team here, but the Little League leap year was funny. Al just exposed him.
I love that. Yeah.
You tie in your shoe. I had to tie your shoes so you're 8 or 9 years old. He says it all. Everything stems from when they were kids, and I guess Mick was probably like the smaller guy, like the sick guy. They probably got not like bullied or beat up, but like definitely mentally tortured and made fun of by all the Mick, all the beyond average crew,
I thought Mick's best line, I had to write it down. If my uncle wanted a real office manager, Al would be cutting fucking grass. That was great. That was a good one. Lit him up.
We talked about it a bit, but you guys are right. Mick is like, you support me. You're like when Al supports him, it's not in the right way. Then he's saying you don't support me at all, and it was kind of like that point in the show where he was like, he's kind of like talking himself in a circle, and when you listen back, he's like, it was crazy, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? The support. Then he's like, you don't support me, but you support me too much. It's nuts. Snell, what do you think?
Well, like you were just saying, not to repeat myself from what I said a few minutes ago, but when you look at the bartender story that he told, he said that he was expecting some type of payment, and then when he got the payment, it wasn't up to his satisfaction. But yeah, he didn't care, but yeah, he did care. Then when you look at what was the other thing that he was bitching about? It was the wedding, it was the bar, and there was the therapy. What was the other one he was bitching about, BA?
There was
some with the girlfriends too.
The girlfriends. That was another one. Yep. I don't know. It's one of those things where you look at his Crohn's disease, and I don't know if any of you guys ever had like a good friend that had Crohn's disease. One of my best friends in high school had it, and very similar personalities, kind of like everyone's against me. And I wonder how much of that plays into it. His health reasons kind of just drives him a little nuts. I mean, the dude fucking pisses out his ass like all the time. He's probably shitting blood. I mean, it's not a good way to live every day.
I remember I remember. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, King. King, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I think it's just a buildup over time. When you're younger, getting put down. He's very insecure. His parents, obviously, like Al Moore, he was he was sleeping in bed till he was 8 years old with his parents. It all just built up to the point now. Anything Al says, it's just here. So every time he says something, it builds up a little more, and I think it just puts him over the edge every time. And I know if he gets that job, I'm going to be very happy to see his response to Al after that happens. So I'm still looking forward to that.
So I remember the crazy part. The crazy part was Mick was Al said, I think you blame me for not getting the job. And then Mick goes, what? That's crazy. I don't blame you. And then he's like, but then Kurt's like, but do you think like there's some part of me that would affect the job? And he's like, yeah, of course. Like I could think that them booing would affect the job. So like he, in the same sentence, he's like contradicting what he just said. And then at the end, they're like, Mick, you're contradicting what you just said. He's like, you guys are crazy. I'm not crazy. You guys are crazy.
It's not complicated. He just hates Al. I mean, it's all right. You called him a 4.5 on a 5 out of 10.
So Sig, what would you think? Like. Sig, what do you think about all this?
So what were you talking about? Sorry.
So I was saying, like, when he blamed Al said the root of this is he thinks that Mick.
Oh, so yeah, okay, sorry. So if Mick went to therapy, he would have understood that by now. Like they would have figured it out, and he would have been talking through that. So I just think it's Mick's a mess. like really.
I should say Curtis said Sig's electric. Let's go. W Sig in the chats. Let's go. W Sig.
I want to say one thing though. About, are you going to get into the bar story on its own, or could I make a comment about?
We could go. The wedding story is on the list, right?
I'll wait for it. Go ahead. No worries.
No. Go ahead. Well,
I was going to say I kind of with Mick on $140 is kind of a weird. Like it's not that much money.
It's like a family member.
I mean, Mick is an absolute cunt to fucking call up and be like, I'm not going to make it there. That's all. I know he has never been married, Mick, but like when going through a wedding, it's a lot of stress to think my bartender's not coming. Just that call is already enough to like just stress you out, you know. But $140, I mean, that's kind of stingy. Yeah,
because you know how it is, those backyard weddings. Sometimes people just don't bring cash too because they're like, oh, I'm just going to the house. Like no one's. So I could.
He doesn't remember how much he got tipped though.
Yeah, but it couldn't. I don't think it could have been.
In an open bar, you're gonna make some drinks. Like people are gonna drink. You know, they're not paying, so it's probably pretty busy.
Like,
so
I would think do the Al method, $50 an hour, like $50 a lunch, or $50 a meal, or $50 a day, like at least 200. At least give the guy $200 and then keep the tips from there. But so like 140 is kind of a slap in the face. Like I am on Mick's side there because like. Open bar, 100 people. He's probably the only bartender. Like he's definitely doing something, and that was a bit of a cheap move.
Yeah, but did Mick have a conversation with this person that we don't know about, where he kind of? It's like we don't know. It's the thing is we don't know, and it could have gone either way.
Yeah, because it could have been. I'll do it for free. It's no problem. Your family.
Or the guy says, "Oh, I'll give you some money," and Mick's like, "Yeah, whatever. Any amount's just fine." You know, who knows? I have no idea.
That's the thing about Mick. I think he doesn't even know, like in the moment, what's fair because his brother gives him $200. It's a slap in the face. Then this guy gives him $140, and it's a reverse slap in the face. You know. So. And
I'm gonna go on record again. And now this is how after the fourth time I came back on this. I think $100 does make more sense than $200. I know $200 it's not a big deal either way. I wouldn't say anything. But I think $100 is totally enough. I think the 200 is a lot, but I still would have took the money, but I don't know what his real problem was, but I still think like, $100, he was right about that. I'm just on Mick's side. I don't know why,
you're on Mick's side about the 200 versus 100. Like the 200's a slap.
I'm not on his side that he like took it personal, but I mean, if I was going to give somebody there, I would have just left 100. Like, I think that's fine. I mean, I don't think it's a weird number, but
the $200 isn't a slap in the face. I think that's just a nice, generous thing to do. Like
For sure
That's
it
where Mick in his head, he thinks it's like some like but maybe he's
yeah.
right. Maybe he's right that Al is this like puppet master
what we don't
mastermind
know.
that's just like he knows a hundred's fair, but $200 I'm gonna fuck with that guy by giving him 200, you know? So this is what I'm saying. I think if they go in more times, I think Al will slowly start looking like you'll start seeing what Mick is saying about Al.
No
It'll
question.
slowly come out because Al, there was a couple things he said in there, like the Crohn's, like he's like, oh, you eat bad, so that's why you have Crohn's. Like I'm pretty sure he got Crohn's.
What
Did
he
he
was
say-
trying to what
he
he was
say
trying to
exactly
say
that?
is that when you have Crohn's disease and you don't eat a bland diet, that's when you're sick. Like if he ate correctly, he would never be sick or wouldn't be sick that often. I think that's what his brother was trying to say.
Yeah, but
Yes, I think so.
there's no way that's true. I mean, if that was true, then you would never be sick from Crohn's.
Well,
I'm
if you're
sure,
eating greasy foods, like that's
Yeah,
just
like-
kinda-
but I don't think he wouldn't be sick at all.
no, yeah, he
you
wouldn't be going to the hospital all the time.
Also, his
Whatever.
brother, like a little shady thing too, he did where it was kind of a scumbag thing where he kind of like brought up his girlfriend. He's like, she's been home. I saw her
that was
driving around.
fucked.
It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that was
Al,
fucked.
you know?
Like
Al,
I could
Hell
see
yeah.
what's
Maniacs rise up, man.
I can see
Team
what
Mick.
Mick's saying, where Mick is like, there's these undertones
Mhm.
that what Al does that you don't know, but he knows because he's been around him all these years, right?
Yeah, but
So
didn't they say they were Mick and his girl were off and on, and so like Al's like saying this is just one of those other times, like they'll be back together.
well, maybe I don't
He was
know.
taking a shot. He was taking a shot at him for sure. One
definitely
of those
was.
passive aggressive little
Yeah.
digs that a brother would take to his
Well,
other brother.
absolutely.
Well, Kirk said the Little League leap year was one of the funniest moments.
It was.
And it was like just to be like, oh, he played an extra year of Little League. Like I don't even know what that. I like at first I didn't really even know what that meant, but I guess
I still don't even understand how he did it. I didn't know you could do that, but
I guess like they were like, come on, he's small, he has Crohn's, it's not a big deal. You know?
he is spanking 10-year-olds all over the park. Good for you, Mick.
But so
Jesus
Mick did a surprise show today. I got to hear a little bit about it, but it wasn't on the network. People are speculating that because Mick's mom doesn't like Kirk, his mom told him don't do the show on the network. And now Mick decided not to do the network. And he actually calls the mom on the show and does a gotcha moment where he doesn't live to tape her. So I think there could be a lawsuit coming between Mick's mom and Mick. So I don't know if so we'll stay in the
Sounds
loop
like a
with that.
stretch, but
Yeah.
Sounds like a stretch,
I actually
huh?
stole that joke from Pat Ford. He
oh, that's why it wasn't funny. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna say,
oh,
that's a
so-
sad statement to say.
Yeah, it is.
yeah, that was I stole that from Pat Ford. Said it in the Clout Crew group chat earlier, so I thought I'd give him a. But he did gotcha moment with the mom, and his mom pretty much said, "I hate how much work you did for the show, and you didn't get hired or whatever." But I could see why, if you're a mom of like Justin or Coleman or Mick,
Justin's parents are chill.
yeah, but I get like, how can you not like hate Kirk a little bit? Where like this guy's making fun of your kids, like saying crazy stuff to them. Like as a father or as a parent, you'd be like, fuck, you're gonna have your kids back like, oh, this guy's kind of a dick to them, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
What do
but
you-
his parents know Mick. They're like, no, that's probably pretty true. Yeah, he's pretty crazy. Like
Yeah.
Kurt said, he didn't just all of a sudden wake up and come to the show and act like that. I mean, it's been going on for a while, so I'm sure they have a good sense of what Mick brings to the table, as
And
we all do now too.
And usually Kirk has to like extract this out of people. Usually he has to kind of like manipulate people, but these two just went at it on their
Yeah,
own.
it was great.
yeah,
It was one of the best shows they've had. It was an unbelievable show.
it was a very like, it was one of those shows that you were the whole time you were like, oh, this is fuck, you're laughing, and it's like there's moments that it's one of those things. I feel like if you re-listen, it gets funnier. The more you re-listen. Like I don't know. So I think the Mick and Al saga it's just beginning. I hope it could come back like once every couple months. Once a month might be too much, but maybe once a quarter. Like reach into them 4 times a year, see how the relationship's doing. I think that could be fun.
I just hope he doesn't like start overdoing it because Mick can get into these little ruts where like he went for a few times with his show maybe a month ago where they weren't his normal style. Like some of his shows I've listened to every single one he's done, and the ones when he's by himself are I don't know if you guys listen to his show, but it is really really good. And he hasn't done
you like the edited by the
love
ones.
Yeah. Great. I mean, those
are like a masterpiece. Those are 40,
I love those.
40, 50 gigs.
We need some more.
Those are 4K audio. They sound great in your ears, those ones.
That's true.
Any last things on Mick, and then we could go to the next loser of the week.
Well, the other thing that came out though about Al is he hates Coleman, huh? That seems to get a little traction. I didn't realize that either.
Al is I'm with Justin on this. There will if the more you dig, the more Mick is right. So.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling.
And One Lake Clinton is right. Mutt talking coming, so let's get into it. Mutt could have been the biggest loser of the week. I like Mutt. Me and Sig are very good friends with Mutt. And Kane, Kane and Sig are all very good friends. Like it's tough talking about a good friend. Like
I had a nice conversation with Mutt on Monday. So yeah.
Oh, interesting. We could get into.
I got like 15
spring
minutes.
tryouts.
But Coleman, I forget who said this, Coleman or Justin. But Mutt is like a mix of Mick and Augustus. Like he doesn't have a job. I think he does. He is kind of white lying a bit where he says he has these other commitments. Like if you have the potential to get a job right away, or you have another commitment in like 6 months, like I don't get the business sense of saying, oh, I'm not going to pursue this opportunity because I might have something down the line, unless like I'm totally off on the money. But also he's like Mick, where he's kind of delusional, and I don't know. But Mutt, what thoughts on Mutt? Mutt to Barstool, he's acting like he's too good for it, or he has other.
I think he's scared.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think Mutt's a little scared, and just he doesn't know what he wants right now. So he's still figuring that out, and he's going through like a sort of a midlife crisis. So he's a little crazy in how he's thinking right now. I don't think he's like Mick, because Mick's been like the way he is his whole life.
Ricky Slicks said, "Imagine going to war for a month to get a job, loser." I don't know. I think I don't know which loser he's talking about, but Mutt, like, I feel like, I don't know. He's taking a day off to go to the Eclipse. He's at the Eclipse getting fucked up, tailgating on a Monday.
That was crazy.
Like he's
the fact that oh my God.
That's not even close to the worst part of that story.
Were you there? Well, you said you saw him Monday. Were you at the Eclipse with him?
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe it wasn't Monday. I saw him at a baseball game. Maybe it was Wednesday. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
The funniest part of that whole story is I have a son that's similar to his age, so I know there is no fucking way that kid wanted to drive up to Vermont. We know that for sure.
No way.
They come back. They got to sit in the car for 6 hours, and he's like, you weren't good there, so you're not gonna have any. You're not gonna have any iPads. Like, what a fucking asshole!
Yeah.
This is actually Hodge's takers with a good point. I said Mutt took a day off to watch that clip. He said day off, BA. He doesn't have the job. That's true. That is true. Mutt didn't take a day off to watch the clip, but
the poor kids.
Like how miserable. Like that ride home where his wife's driving. Awful. He's probably pouting, being like, "I'm gonna miss the Yukon game."
You think he had some road sodas?
I was gonna ask, do you think like he's in the front seat, like all fucked up, like just ripping road beer?
We gotta get home by 9:30.
How sad is that ride home where he's probably on that ride, he gets fucked up at the Eclipse, and he gets hung over on the ride home. You know what I mean?
Awful.
Having to take a piss and all that, forget it.
from his
Guys,
house in Chelmsford, you can see 95% of it. I'm like thinking in my head, why would you? I couldn't believe it. Like the 6 hours back, and the kid's just having to sit
Well,
there.
you have a
and
wife
like,
and you're not working, and she's been
Crazy.
okay with it.
when
That's what I
the
think. Why?
when the
It's 'cause
boss
yeah.
when the boss says, "Hey, Mutt, you
That's true.
take off your fucking pajama pants for watching the eclipse." You can't say no.
I always think like in the morning when his wife wakes up to go to work, does he just hide or what does he do? You know, that must be an awful sight.
He has an apron on. He's
There
cooking
he
her
is.
breakfast.
He pretends he's still asleep.
He's just like, yeah, who knows? But so the thing is, Mutt to Barstool, it's got some legs. David and Maryland, there's been tweets about it. Portnoy's like, what is this guy gonna do? But it's like, if you can somehow,
He's not wrong. I mean,
yeah. But so what it reminds me of is the Blind Mike situation back in the day. Like remember when Blind Mike wanted a job with the show and whatever, and then it kind of would have came out of Kirk's end or whatever. So I think there could be a way where maybe Kirk, like, if Dave said, okay, I'll hire Mutt, but it cut like for what part-time to do a few things, but Kirk, it comes out of your end. I think Kirk would do it but the thing is, Mutt wouldn't do it because he doesn't want Kirk to be his boss. And that was the crux of this whole thing. It was like, if I do this, Kirk, you're my boss. And I think he'd rather be unemployed than making $100,000 working for Kirk. Cause like, I think that relationship gets really
let me
ruined.
ask you a question though. Like if he's going to use that money, wouldn't you rather give it to Mick? I mean, honestly, Mick is somebody that like the big difference between Mutt and Mick, and I like Mutt, but Mick works. He puts out a lot of podcasts. He's trying, he's grinding, and Mutt's good on the show too. But Mick has I think a bigger shelf life in the end because he can really, I think he's got a more long-term future because he cares about the show like that. Mutt, if something else comes up, I think he'll just bail and he wouldn't really care that much about the show. I think you're better off putting your money with Mick, to be honest. If you were going to do that.
It would never come out of Kirk. Kirk would never pay for Mutt out of his own end. That would never happen.
I think Portnoy kind of alluded to it on the Unnamed show. Oh, it would have to be like a Blind Mike situation. Like I think it would have. So you're saying Kirk wouldn't do it,
No.
But do you think if it was like 50-50 where Barstool covers half, you still think it's no?
No,
but if it's a small amount, like I don't know. So that's
since Mutt has been coming on the show, we've been getting little like inklings and hints from him as to why he doesn't want to do it, but he hasn't really articulated it too well. This week he gave us kind of the bombshell, the smoking gun, and it's that fucking story from years ago that he's still hung up on, and I think that is the main reason why he will never, ever, ever be part of this world is because of shit like that. He can't handle that.
Like you sorry, you said the Super Bowl stuff?
Yeah. That whole stuff that he talked about. I mean, how many years ago was that? From like
they
2000?
talked about it. They talked about it.
The dog bite incident.
What exactly happened? Because that's something I've never heard. Like they didn't really go into too much detail. But what happened? Do you guys, is that memorable to you guys, or you guys don't know?
Oh, I remember. I don't know the whole story though, but I remember mostly what happened. I think Kirk at the time was out of EEI right then, right? They were all at the Super Bowl. People that were on his show, like people from the show were there, and he went apeshit, you know.
But this was not on the air, or was it on the air?
No.
This was off the air. Oh,
and he blasted him towards his peers. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So like a lot of the people in the industry and all that kind of thing. And I think Mutt obviously took it really personal because he's still upset about it.
I find that odd though, only because I know Mutt. He comes on the show. I don't know if you guys, how many of you listen to EI, but he used to take a fucking beating on that other show. He went out once a week and got the shit kicked out of him by another guy too, Jerry, who could put on some pain too. So
the worst radio beatings you've ever seen, friggin' Mutt.
And Mutt said it was the best radio he had ever done before that. So Mutt, really, we see him with Kirk. We like him. We see him with Kirk on WEI, but when he did his own shows, like Kirk says, he really wasn't that interesting. He's really, really good with Kirk, but I don't know. I don't know. I think he's better than Megan Ottolini. He should be at EI, definitely, but I don't know what else you really do with him.
But it might be better than like Clemmer.
Well, I think Mutt on the show, Mutt on KMS, he's one of like I would say Montante, Mick are
Yeah,
all
He's
right
great.
there as right under Blind Mike as like the second tier, like third chairs, right? Like, and where, but Mudd but you would think if he had this opportunity, he would, put out a few videos, try to have fun with it at least. If something works out, great. If something doesn't, maybe you get more Mudsack subscribers. Maybe the fact that he's embarrassed. What? Sorry.
You were yawning. You were yawning.
Oh no, I kind of burped. The fact that he was embarrassed is troubling to me. But he also says he has these other commitments, but he's been saying these other commitments for a while. Like, this is where I think he's kind of like us, where I don't
imagine this coming out of your mouth. I can't take a full-time job. Can his wife put a drink of water in her mouth without spitting it out when he says that? I couldn't believe he said that. It was shocking. Why not? You can't take a full-time job? Why not? You can do the other stuff on the side too. I don't know. I just think he doesn't really want to work.
I wonder if he's worried about if he gets put in this Barstool kind of like sphere, if he thinks that he can never leave it. Like if he jumps in Barstool, he'll never go back to the radio or anything like that.
But isn't that a good thing? Because like
it
radio's
is
almost dead. If he could still make if he can make some money in a content role, so
right. But if they called him next week, if someone got hit by a bus and they needed someone, and the EI called him next week, regardless of what he says, he's fucking taking that job. He's taking it.
Mama K says Clemmer is a hustler, Mudd is not. Wow.
I think we've heard enough from Mama K this week. Jesus Christ.
You heard enough? Mama K has been on a bender. Honestly,
sorry about her father, though. I don't want to say anything about that, but
no, nothing about her father. We could say this: eating Chinese food on an airplane, you should be court-martialed and arrested for 24 hours. That's fucked up.
That's
Snake,
gross.
what do you think about that? Eating Chinese food on an airplane? That's fucked.
Like, no. So I don't. I have her muted, so that was one of her tweets. She was like eating, like, what was she eating?
She said, like, I apologize to everyone on the plane. Like, it's like she's some superstar. She's some superstar that everyone can see her tweet. She's like, I apologize if anyone's on the plane. I had to eat my Chinese food because of something. And then it's like, if you're, you have a layover, get like a wrap or something that doesn't smell, or get like snacks, like Chinese food.
You probably got the lobster or some shit, because like
eating fucking chicken fried rice, like
beef and broccoli at an airplane.
It's just a wild move. I mean, who does?
She said she was starving. Crazy move. Eat a fucking power bar or something.
Yeah.
Crazy. But that's our Mama K segment for the week.
But
anything else on Mudd? I'm just kind of. I'm kind of like disappointed that he isn't trying to do like, or at least having fun with it. Like, maybe nothing happens, but have fun with it. Especially like Kirk started the Unnamed show talking about Mudd. It's pretty like there's like hundreds of thousands of people that are probably like, who the fuck is this Mudd guy that they keep bringing up on this show? So. It's one of those things where if you do a video, hey, I'm Mudd, and make it kind of semi-creative, like, who knows what happens. If not, you get a few more Mudstack subscribers. But Sig, anything about Mudd? You were saying he's a great guy privately.
Yeah, I think so. I just think he's got to figure out what's going on, and eventually I think he'll end up doing like that show.
Oh, you read the comments. Sig is sleeping like Biden at the UN meetings. It's okay. It's Sig's first time, man. It's tough to be on. It's tough to be on with superstars.
Dude, these
like
two guys,
man,
and
a lot of
Snell. Even though Snell is begging to come on Mike and the Minifans, but we won't talk about that. Maybe later.
Oh, you want to talk about that? Snell and Kane.
Later.
I heard you two had a little bit of a beef.
I didn't have a beef with. I like Snell. I don't have any beef.
I was so confused. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on in that conversation. Nobody's gonna know what we're talking about. So
don't worry, I took care of it for you. Kane
Thank you.
is helping out Snell now. How fucking sad is that for you, my friend?
Well, I really want Snell
day for both of us.
I really want Snell to get into studio. I think he'd be a good guy.
He's been in.
Yeah, Coleman asked me to go in for Thursday, but I had to work. So
okay. Take a day off, man. You must have days off.
I just started, so I got to
Just
take
call
it
in
easy with
sick.
that.
Say you have mental
Call
health.
it sick.
Yeah.
Call in sick, and then someone sees you.
Yeah. Yeah,
On
exactly.
that would be funny. But the third loser of the week, and this guy, he lost his cafe, he lost his wife, he lost his daughter, and he lost the network. Manners. I hate to pile on, but that was such a sad phone call on the first show of the week where he's just like, oh, let's do a merger. Kirk's like, this network stuff's done, man. Just he's pretty much telling Menners, come here. I told Menners he'd come on at 9 for the calls. I think that would be great. But Manners, sad call. He's down to the dubs. He signs Pat and Cat. Is that the show? What's the show called?
Yeah, Pat and Kate.
Pat and Kate talk, but isn't it something like Pat and Cat talk the rack or something? What's the show? No one knows. But he signs this show, and Kirk steals it for him right away. It's like he's never gonna like Kirk. No one's ever gonna go with Menners over Kirk, you know. So
Didn't McFuss Daddy?
McFuss did, but what's he like? Is he just doing it for a bit? Like, what's he gonna do over there? Like, Ron didn't go over, so like.
So to be honest, we're throwing Menor a bone. Me and Fuss Daddy are gonna do a little show, so I'm gonna throw Menor a bone. And
you're going over to, so you're gonna be on the you're going to the Menners network.
I have to. The guy is so down.
Wow,
he's willing to let Kane is able try to make him feel better. I mean, this is a great times.
Kane and McFuss.
What's the angle of your show?
McFuss. What'd you say, Sig? I haven't talked in a while. What'd you say?
What's the angle of your show?
Oh well, we'll let Fuss Daddy talk about that. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a show. We're gonna record on Sunday. So
wow, breaking news. Kane and McFuss Daddy.
I'll throw Menners a bone, and I feel bad for the little guy.
Great, but Menners, a sad guy, really reeling. His Minifandom, though, I was saying, like, it must be tough. Like, I don't have kids, but you got like your kid is right around a stabbing or whatever. That must be that's like no joke. Must be a scary moment. So, I think you should just maybe come back. Welcome to do Menners Live after Mike and the Minifans. Menners Live hosted by BA. We could do that. That'll be great. A great moment for him. But Snell, what do you think about Menners?
Well, I think number one, he obviously has an eye for talent, seeing as how many shows Kirk Minahan has poached away from him. So he's got a good eye for talent. And it's also interesting, he built up. I know he could be tough to deal with. I mean, he's been good to me, so I can't complain. But from hearing from others, he's tough to deal with. But when you look at everything that he built with the Menners network, I am shocked that in this world that Kirk built around loyalty, nobody had any to him. And again, I know some people say that speaks to him, but I am shocked that everyone jumped ship. So that way their videos could get, instead of 700 views, they could get 2,700 views.
Well,
I know that's weird to me.
That's not. It's more like
close,
forget. Right? It's more like if videos that got 200 views, got 50 views, get 200 videos, got 200, get 250.
Sorry.
The thing is, it's not the thing with Menners. I think this was never a shot at Menners. It's like if Kirk is asking you, hey, would you like to do Mike and the Minifans on the network? Obviously, you have to say yes. Like it's the main show. Menners is great, but all this stuff revolves around Kirk, right? So if he's asking you to do something, that's an honor, right? So to take that as like, oh, you're being disloyal to me, it's like I don't see it that way, because if anything, now he should just come on here and do some of the, like, join Mike and the Minifans, do Menners Live after. I think Mike and the Minifans to Menners Live was a great product. I think everyone liked it. Like, everyone likes to call in to talk to Menners. People don't really want to call in and talk to us, So that's where I think it's not about loyalty to Menners. It's more loyalty to Kirk. Like, what would have happened if Mike and the Minifans stayed on the network Then someone else was doing it. Then there was 2 competing shows. Then it ends up being no shows. I think. I don't
You know what they call this, Snell? They call this Spin Zone City, my friend.
You're calling me Spin Zone.
Oh, you weren't disloyal. I mean, you got to admit that, right? I mean, it's okay.
To who?
To Menners?
To Menners. I mean,
well, obviously.
That's your guy.
Yeah, I know.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But it's. I mean, you gotta say you weren't disloyal. I mean, that is what happened, isn't it?
I agree with Chris Riley over here. Loyalty to Menners over Kirk. LOL.
It's not what it is though.
It's not. Yeah, it's not the same. But I don't.
It's not. It's not picking one or the other.
It is though.
It's not. Kirk's not here. This is his YouTube channel.
But if so Snell, if Kirk said bring KMS Reloaded,
he asked me to do it, and I said no.
Oh wow! But you haven't done it on the Menners Network.
Believes.
You haven't done it on the Menners Network.
Yeah, I just stopped doing the show because there's 8 wrap-up shows. But
that is true.
But Kirk did say, he said you're more than welcome to do any show that you want on the network.
Well, we are doing 60 Minutes with Snell.
I think what Menners should do is he should not be in charge of anything anymore. He should come over here and he should just be a terrorist. Yeah, he should just be a terrorist over here. That's what he should be
like. A hired gun.
Just lean into it. If people want to fucking hate him, then they'll hate you even more now.
Work for John from Scranton?
He doesn't work for anybody. He's a mercenary.
His ego. I don't think
that's true.
Work out.
Oh, Menners.
I think he'd have fun just being a little shit stirrer. Not have to worry about not have to worry about running stuff.
Oh, it'd be great. I hope one day we could do Mike and the Minifans into Menners live. That's my dream. It would be for that to come back again. Sig, what do you think about all this? Menners actually texted me saying, "Wow, Sig is actually right. Scary." I don't know what that was about, but
I don't know either. Message, but yeah. I mean, I don't blame you, BA. I would do the same thing you would do because Menners doesn't have loyalty to anybody but Menners.
You can't spell Menners. You can't spell Menners without me. That's what people say.
Kirk asked him to run the network over there. He would have just went there.
Oh yeah.
Hasn't Kirk kind of already said that? Maybe not run it, but he's already offered to have him over.
Oh, there he is. Sneakers.
Friday night sneakers. The bad boy's back. Menners said, "I am never coming over." Wow.
There we go.
Sad day. But we'll see.
Just never heard of again. Just staying over there and
yeah. Anything else about Menners? Pray for Menners. I think sad. I think even at this point, Kirk's like he's like I kind of feel bad for the little guy.
It's not really actually funny. I feel that is tough. It's a tough situation. So
no, it's true. But. I still consider Menners a friend, so hopefully he's doing well. I actually didn't reach out after his call because I was after that call, I was like, this is the saddest moment in the history of Menners. So, you got a text?
No.
Okay. We'll go into do you guys have anything you want to bring up? I have a bunch of, what's it called? Random topics. Nope. Snell? Didn't you have something, Snell?
No, I didn't have anything.
I thought you had okay. Let's see. Jeff D. Low rap. This is Cedar Park. A great song, I think. It was that was a great moment.
What I like the placement of it because I think brought Kirk's mood right back up.
Yeah. You can it's tough that song just makes you laugh. As a rap aficionado, Snell, what'd you think about the bars?
So I liked it. I thought they did a really good job. I thought it would have been funnier and better if they would have leaned into it a little more. I kind of don't like how they were kind of playing it a little low key to try and make it more funny. I think it would have been better if they really leaned into it. But yep, Jeff Freelow, he can spit hot bars. That guy, man. Whew. So,
hot bars, Kane. Is that where you like fuck the rap? It's stupid, or did you like?
No, I thought it was funny. I'm just not a big Jeff D guy. He's kind of dismissive of me. I'm not a big fan. He goes on the show. He's fucking terrible. But
dude, his call was great. This last call.
That call was great. Wow.
About Mutt.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. It's a good call. I mean, it's Jeff D'Lo style. It's pretty good, but he's just.
You're saying on a scale like for
Jeff scale.
On a Jeff scale, it was like 10.
Yeah. Okay, we'll give him that. But talented guy for sure. Just the Minifan of the year. It's still, I know it's still.
Well, if he said hi to you, you'd
no bothers me,
feel
man.
better about him.
Maybe.
Go ahead, say go ahead.
If he said hi to you, you'd feel a lot better.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what Pat Ford said, doesn't acknowledge Kane with laughing faces. So if he was like, oh, Kane is able like that guy, then Kane's like, oh, Jeff D'Lo, great guy. I thought it was pretty funny. This is Cedar Park.
It was funny.
So Chrissy Bits, I call him Chrissy Bits. Clemmer is the master bidder. The guy, I think the people at Barstool are starting to dislike him. He's walking out of
very unlikable. Like he's
very unlikable. But he's walking out of Pick Central because Smitty like raises his hand. He's like, "Don't interrupt me! Don't interrupt me!" Like, dude, who just walks out for that? Like, walking out is a low moment. I think.
Sure is.
And I think Chrissy Bits since the 100-hour stream, his stock is way down, and I think he's lost the room where he thinks he could speak for people, or he's like everyone's scared over here, and no one wants someone to speak for them. Like he needs to get in his lane. What do you think, Snell, about Chrissy Bits?
So I think he would have had a lot more respect when, like you were just mentioning, when he kind of called out kind of the lack of leadership, if he would have stood by that, but he kind of faltered a little bit on that fight with Portnoy. I also think that when you look at how Clemmer conducts his content, it's very niche. You either like that kind of weird shit, like the Amazing Race or anything like that. When he does have his chance, like you just mentioned, he blows off the stream. He sleeps for 50 hours. I struggle to find something that this guy does that I actually like now that he's off the Kirk Minahan show. I guess you could say I like him, but a fan of his content, I am not.
Yeah, Ricky Slicks makes a good point. Clemmer thinks he's a bigger deal than he is, and he's a Clemmer guy. Oh wow, Menner's live at 10 p.m. tonight. Thank you, Menners. So that'll be great. Menner's live.
I can't wait.
Amazing. But Clemmer, man, I don't know. Sig, are you a Clemmer guy?
Not at all.
What do you think about
I think he's fine as I don't know how he got on the Barstool. I think he's fine coming in once in a while, but I'm with Snell. I don't like much of his content.
He got the Barstool for how he looks. I mean, that's how it started. I find him I actually like Clemmer a good amount, so I think he's actually pretty interesting. I think his baseball knowledge was all that when he was playing that. I thought that was very odd when he was doing the simulated games, and I just think has an interesting mind. I mean, he just thinks about interesting things, and I'm like, hey, I kind of like him, so I don't really have anything bad to say about him. I thought it was definitely like he's getting a little much, like he's the tough guy at things, but he'll reel it back and he'll figure it out because he has a job for life there. I mean, he's at Barstool. He's obviously done something right. You don't get there for nothing, so.
I see some similarities between him and Mutt too, a little bit. Just kind of how they conduct themselves, how they like to dip a toe in, but not kind of go in all the way. I don't know. I see some similarities between those two guys.
I actually think Don Julius says the 1995 Mariners was good. Like he had like 400 or 500 people watching him at one point doing this, and then he just stopped doing it. Where this is like an easy, low cost production and streaming and all that stuff. You could like doing weird shit like that. You could get like especially you would be doing it every day. Like I think he's trying to do more than that his skill set provides, like 1995 Mariners was good. He gives it up.
It was good.
A little bit.
How much do you think he's making a year?
I don't know.
To live in New York. I mean, how much?
At least 100, right?
You're saying 100 grand. I don't think. How does this guy make 100 grand? Like
I don't think so.
No, if you live in New York City, that's like maybe 45 in my area.
It's a good point. That's true.
I'm just wondering, like, how much is it costing Portnoy to, give him a paycheck, and how much money is he bringing in? He's one of those guys
sure
that
he
just
makes the money back, and somehow, like one thing he was part of, like a percentage.
He definitely doesn't make them. Like he doesn't bring in $1 of ad revenue for Chris.
I mean, look at someone like Kirk.
They need background actors for like those commercials and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't consider that like bringing in money. Like he doesn't like bring in $1 for the company. Like he does. He's a good employee. Like he'll do that stuff. But
Dave said he's his punching bag. That's what he's there for, to get the shit kicked out by Dave. And that's it's been going good for him.
Because didn't Kirk before he started doing live shows say multiple times that his show used to like break even for Barstool?
yeah, like I think with Kirk's like salary and stuff, it's probably like I think the podcast, like I don't know how much money the podcast makes. Like
I'm just saying, if someone like Kirk Minahan, he can, if he's generating all this ad revenue and he's just breaking even before his live shows. Exactly. How much could fucking Clemmer be bringing in?
Well, Clemmer doesn't make anywhere near what he makes.
Yeah,
so.
True, but
more than 3 times.
But that's the whole thing. Clemmer doesn't make what Kirk's making, but Clemmer also doesn't bring in a cent of his own ad revenue with one of his own. Like that 100-hour stream probably didn't make that much money,
Chris Clemmer 101 is he goes in that stream. He's there for 196 hours. And at the end of it, he goes, what I need to do is think about what I'm going to do next. And it's like, well, you had 96 hours. What the fuck were you doing? He should have been planning out his whole year in there. He starts things and doesn't finish. I mean, this rat race, I didn't even watch it. I don't know if anybody thought it was good.
I don't think it's something that has legs. Like I said, the 1995 Mariners was something that he could have easily been doing every day. It's unique. He could have been the 90 and think about it. He would have to do like 1 game a day or 2 games a day. That's like a recurring thing. You probably could. That's an easy thing to sell too, I would say, because it's like recurring. I don't know. Sig's asleep. We have John here. If you want to take John, you can pop in if you want. Or you pop in when you like, John.
I'm just getting some shit.
The CEO, John from Scranton. Coleman. Coleman. Before we get into Coleman, are you excited for this film festival that Kirk's going to be reviewing next week?
I don't get it.
Yeah. Do you have more details, BA? Because I'm not really.
Well, no. What I thought was funny is Barstool New York did this content draft, and I don't think one video came out of it besides the original video of them drafting each other. Whereas the is Sig sleeping for real?
No, I'm checking my bet. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So so it looks like the Barstool Chicago office is like set up into teams, and they need to film a video, and then it's getting reviewed by Kirk and a few different people.
There's some creative people there, so I'm sure some of the videos will be pretty good.
Yeah, I think, but the funny I thought was funny is like Barstool New York tried to do something, no leadership there. KFC is a moron. None of I don't think any of the videos have come out, or like they were supposed to do 1 a month. Like where I haven't seen if they came out, I haven't seen them. But this film festival has more juice behind it. But are you excited? Okay. Oh,
I'm not excited. It's not anything that does anything for me. I mean, I know Kirk loves that kind of. I guess. Sorry, maybe he's really enjoying it. He'll do whatever they ask. So, for me, it's just nothing that really is that appealing to myself. I'm much more interested in the case, to be honest.
You're interested in the next season of the case?
I love the case. Yeah,
you love the case.
It was great. Yeah, I thought he did an excellent job. I mean, those podcasts with like they have what is it there, the Crime Junkie, or they have like 1 million people on those podcasts, and it's like he was getting tons of downloads for the case, and they had him and Steve Robinson, and the second one they didn't even sell an ad for, which to me it's just unbelievable because they get tons and tons of downloads from all a totally different audience, And I thought it was I thought it was great. So I'm hoping the next one is coming soon.
I think they'll be able to parlay off the Karen Reed case because it's going to the Sandra Birchmore. So maybe they'll be able to reopen that one again.
I'm not a huge case guy. Oh, Getro Man said it's from the Yak, so I guess they're doing this is a Yak thing. The film festival.
I would have been much more interested if Kirk and his crew was making a video. I'd be much more interested in something like that.
That would be interesting. Yeah, that's a good point.
They should just submit. They should submit the intro, the Portland intro, and then that would have the laughs. But I guess if you're not a Minifan, you don't really understand it.
So you were about to rip Coleman? What was going on?
Coleman. I have two. Yeah. So Coleman, he had two moments this week. He had the playoff seeding where he couldn't figure out. Like that was an all. Like, do you think he's acting there or he's that big of a dummy? Because he's like, I don't get math. Like, if you watch sports even a little bit, you would understand. Oh, if the if the winners win, it's 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. Like he's acting like that meme where they're doing calculus around him.
The boxing thing was the craziest one to me.
Yeah,
that one.
What was it? 50-10?
You've never watched a sport in your life. Yeah, he's never watched it. I mean, how do you not know that? I mean, I didn't watch that much boxing growing up, but I know it's a 10-9 round. You know, if he gets knocked out, could be a 10-8. But
the best was when Kirk's like he wants to bring back he's like I want to bring back the word, and then he's like Coleman and his buddies. He's like Coleman and his buddies talking about are just gossiping. He's like, what do you think about this? I was like, Coleman is like.
Today he was bitching about his license too, right? He's like, I almost failed the last time. He said he got a 1430 on his SATs. Nobody is buying it. No way.
Isn't that the new one? So 1430, like for when
I don't know. That's what I don't know. Yeah, that's what I don't know. You know,
that playoff seeding was just
crazy.
Like what the fuck, dude?
He's like baffled, like just sitting there, like could not figure. There's only so many numbers. You know what I mean? Like
it's like even if it takes you a lot of time, you're like 1 beats 8, 1, 2 beats, and then eventually like he's acting like he's doing rocket science. Like I don't know.
And what I love about Kirk is, I mean, this is obvious to everyone that watches, but what I love about Kirk is he just like tells everyone to shut up and just let him fail on his own. Just let him just watch him sink. I love that about Kirk.
Anyone else would be like, "You're a fucking idiot." Yep. Like I would probably do that. It's like it's hard to because when you see that. And but the other thing, the beginning of the week, his story about the teacher.
Oh, that was a good one.
Brutal.
Oh yes.
Well, I think he was like, I think that girl was like trying to do a booty call, like, "Are you in town?" kind of thing, because it's like they're probably from the same small town in Jersey. Montante showed me where Coleman went to high school and stuff, so like it's not a huge town, so. It's like I think this girl was trying to like do the little "Hey, how are you" to Coleman, and he just thought it was weird.
Can I make a comment about that story though? So he says he didn't know the girl really. I didn't get the whole gist of it. So he said he kind of knew her in high school a little bit. He gets the text from her that day, and that night just randomly sees her. Nobody's fucking buying that. Like that. What are the odds of that?
Well, no.
FaceTime.
He FaceTimed.
She FaceTimed him.
He said he saw her that night, and then she ignored him.
No, I think he said they FaceTimed that night because she was like, "This is your teacher. She's drunk." And then after that, she ignored him the rest of the night. Right?
Oh,
am I right?
Like
something like that.
Like on FaceTime. I thought he saw her like randomly, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, Kane. They're saying Kane's right. People are saying Kane's right. Kane's right.
Either way,
he said he saw her. I'm more confused.
No, that's what he said. FaceTime them.
Yeah, I thought it was FaceTime because my opinion was that she was
right. Everyone's saying Kane's right.
I don't want Don the Jewelers.
Look, even Freddie Lynn said said later that night they ran into each other in person. Kane's right.
Oh, okay.
We're both
bullshit
right.
Story. Bullshit. Has to be.
Yeah.
Or he knows her. He knows her. He's definitely been like, you know.
It's the weirdest thing to lie about.
Well, either way, if it is a true story, she was either way when she met him or when she FaceTimed him, she wasn't into him after that. So whatever feeling she had for him when she got reintroduced to him in person, she was like, "Fuck you, I'm out."
The whole story's in question. We don't know.
Yeah, the whole story.
You think she saw him? She saw him and was like, "You look a lot more gay in person." So
definitely fatter and gayer.
Especially now, I noticed Coleman's like parting his hair to this, like he's doing the double part, like he's combing his hair to both sides. Did you notice that, or that was just me?
I did.
But he's doing like the like the bangs and shit. I think he's trying to be a movie star. I don't know, but Coleman, I thought Coleman like missed the booty call, but I guess he saw her later and he did close the deal. So
if he saw her at all,
I don't think he closes the deal often.
Yeah, you don't think so, Sig?
No.
I wanted to get Montante on here for Sig. Sig is like
you have a rivalry.
I thought you're the number one Montard.
I am. No, I am.
Maybe I'll text him and say, "Hey, you want to come on?" But Sig's asking for you. John, you can pop in. Let's do the calls if you guys want to call in.
You got a caller now.
Oh, we got a caller. What's the
we
number?
We can do the love line.
860.
860. Welcome
Connecticut.
to Manners Live, hosted by BA.
It's Mayo, I bet.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up, buddy?
Good show. Question is, and I apologize if you already talked about it, but does it seem like the producers are in a lot of trouble again? Because, like, at the beginning of the week, when he came back, Kirk, with like basically, what did you do over all this time? They seemed pretty annoyed. And then yesterday, with Mott and the start time right before he started the show, he also said something like, great job, producers, made a face of disgust. Seems like he's really very frustrated with them again.
Although that was bullshit because he always starts those shows at 9, and then it's been the last 7-8 weeks. 7-8
Yeah,
shows.
he's just being a dick.
Yeah, that was just a bullshit thing. I thought just wraps them up.
I kind of agree with the caller in the sense I think the producers got bailed out by Mick and Mutt this week, so there wasn't a lot on them. They just kind of had to be there. They didn't have to bring topics to the table. So,
what else you got, caller?
Oh no, that's it. It just seems to me like they're on a short leash again. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's going to work out.
Well, we know Coleman's on a little bit of a short leash because Mix is right there trying to squeeze him right out. He is as happy as can be.
Good point.
All right, good call, buddy. Thanks. Call back in.
Thank you, guys. All right.
What's up, boys?
Oh, I thought you said we had a couple of calls.
No, one. We had 3 lined up, but they leave once we start taking calls. I think they're just fucking with you.
Oh, call back in 844-906-3800. Actually, Menner said if I call this Menner's Live hosted by BA, he will take legal action. So maybe we need a new name, but it just flows. It just flows nice. I don't know.
941.
941. Welcome to Beep Live hosted by BA. There we go. Caller, are you there? Did John put you on? John probably. Oh,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, buddy?
I'm pretty sure. I think Kirk even wants out of his gay ass world at this point. He's ready to quit.
Kirk's ready to quit.
Yeah, he's done. It's mental health time, and I don't think he's coming back.
Wow, that big accusations. I think he's like. He said he's going through it a bit. I hate to speculate, but I like to see the shows this week were great shows. So
yeah, I think while he's in a bet, like you could tell he's like down in the dumps about something, which that's his business. I think that makes for good shows though sometimes because of these small little things like keeping the producers on their toes because they're doing at this point nothing wrong. They have no reason to be in trouble. Like they're doing.
Well,
they're doing
I think the
everything
Mutt
done.
thing was a little like.
I don't know what the story is with that though.
So, John, let me ask you a question. If you were in their place, you would have really done no content those 2 weeks that Kirk was not there.
They did. No one sees like, yo, Coleman and Justin make sure there's clips up every day. There's these shows go up every day. There's this posted and tweeted about. We make sure there's a clip for each one of this. So like, while
how many hours
don't do
how
anything,
many hours is that?
That's their whole. I mean, yo, it's almost my whole day just doing this part of it. So it's like, it's my whole night, and that's them sending codes.
They did like 3 or 4 behind the third chairs. Like those must take some time to do. Like I don't think Like you have to get the video edited.
That's why I know they're not doing it. He can't name one thing they're doing wrong. He's just like, I'm annoyed with them, which like, sometimes I'm annoyed with people I'm on shows with a lot. So it's like, I think that's just what he's doing to them. But you can work somebody right into a pickle by doing that, especially if you're Kurt, because he's like a mastermind. Like you'll just make somebody start doing something wrong.
Well, they're definitely doing a good job, though. I don't even think
it's not that they're like blowing away anybody, but it's like doing their job. They're not doing anything wrong. That's right.
It. Well, I still think that the topics they bring up are still.
Well, they're horrible at topics. They are horrible at topics. But like,
Portland vlog was fantastic. Portland vlog behind the was great. I actually think that this 2 weeks off, they did more than any producers have done, like in an off week in the history of the show.
While I'm not saying they're blowing us out of the water with any like I really do think that third chair show is good. I don't want them to oversaturate it. Like I would say having already done 3 episodes is a little aggressive, but like I guess Justin just wants to pop them out. But like,
that was during the off week.
Like a good, exactly. It was during the off week.
Thank you, Sig.
Thanks.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
See you later.
My friend. We'll get you. Oh, Montante was
about. So would you guys say then if you were Kirk and you were fine with the output of Justin and Coleman, then that means you would think that Cullinane and Robinson didn't do enough then?
Well, Dave didn't do enough. Steve did. Dave did.
What did Steve do compared to Jack and Coleman?
I think he was more involved in the investigative. The show was different at that time. You know what I mean? Like behind the stuff, that was a 24-hour job. That Case podcast.
And then they had to build the show. I mean, you know what I mean? So that's
here's the deal.
Steve,
you're not a producer. You don't realize just making a 30-second fucking social media clip takes you an hour at least. You're watching that video almost 100 times while you're making that 30 seconds. So then I put that out, right?
I love CEO John coming in here.
And I'm protecting like producers too. So this is double worse.
Hey, I'm just asking the question. You can't call me. I'm just asking the question.
Like,
Snell, we got to get John on 60 Minutes with Snell to really drill down on him.
Those videos just take long. Like, and it's just, those are Twitter clips. So like you guys look at, that's just part of their job. But it's like, well, that is ours. They are doing their job. It's like, but it's just Twitter clips. No one cares about,
I guess I'm always curious as to how many hours a week those guys are putting in.
This show is their life, period. That's what I look at. I don't look at it in hours. I think this show is their fucking life. What else do they do? What does Justin do?
Ricky Slick saying John's acting like a big time producer.
He's got the shirt for it.
He's got the shirt. I think though.
John does a lot of work though. Like I don't like when people do that either. He works hard for the network. So John, thanks for what you're doing, John. Seriously.
Also, it's my fucking job, you rats. It's my actual job.
Your job is CEO of the Kirk Banana Network. That's your only job. That's tough times.
No, Marlon.
I heard you invested in Joe Budden coin, so now you're retired.
I got in late, but I got in a day before it went into the dumper. Montante, you could tell he was like calling me last week, all excited. This week, I don't even know if we're friends again. Everything's back to normal.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. I still have Doge, like a little bit of Doge. I don't sell that shit really. So
you need to sell it. You got to get out. I memed it. I called a sign. You got to get out of Joe Budden. It's time to get out of Joe Budden.
Oh, okay.
What do we have calls?
Nothing yet right now.
Oh, okay, great. John, a lot of shots at you. Menners calling for your job. You wanted to I said I think it'd be great if we could do Menners live after this. With Menners.
But listen, you can't say I didn't try to get Menners is the best for the network. Like the best thing the network can have is Menners on it. But if he wants to only think about himself, which at this point, look at the core root, and I know you're talking about loyalty, Kane. What is Menners loyal to at this point? But like, won't come over because what is fucking pride? Awesome. Well, guess why I came over here? Because of my pride. So there you go. Call me a rat. Call him a rat.
Well, if he wants to do Menners live, though, he has to get your permission. That's pretty.
No, he doesn't. I'm not him. If he wants to do Menners live, straight through Kirk. I don't need it, or Coleman or anyone. I'm not him. Whereas he would make sure he steps himself into it and fucking make sure he yells at this, but like that's what Menders does. But that's what people like.
That's true.
Like Mick, people fucking can't stand him. Know why everyone listens to him? Because they can't fucking stand him.
What did you think? So Menners, they were mad at you from having Wagon on Meeting the Minds, I guess.
Who Menders was?
They kept on tweeting you and
Wagon. Mad at me for anyone I have on that show. People use as an excuse to get mad.
Meeting the Minds, the link is open. Anyone could come on. That's what I've always told.
Menners comes on that show. You're supposed to be my fucking one enemy. If anything, I shouldn't let you on, you little shit.
So everyone call in. I know you guys are probably saving your calls for Menners Live, but this is Beep Live. I don't know if he takes it. 844-906-3800. Call
Beep
in.
Live. I like
Snell.
that.
Yo.
What thoughts do you have here?
So you're going to do the 60-minute show? I'm really excited.
I was just looking through the show notes for this week, and the only thing that I didn't hear about, a little gossip question, has Steve from Gloucester kind of responded to the Casey Smith controversy?
Good points now. He didn't bring it up at all in that episode that he just put out.
Did he not bring it up in the consistency?
It's because it came out. He sent it to me the day Kirk said the Casey Smith stuff. He sent it to me that morning. So you can't blame him. It wasn't on that episode.
But so he's been silent about Casey. He hasn't done a pod since the Casey system. No. Oh, wow.
And if there's one thing my guy Steve is not good at handling, it's getting back into a corner. He angrily lashes out and just
Stevie Fugazi. I hate to say it, but Stevie Fugazi, who knows?
No, he's a star. He's a shining star.
I was saying to these guys, Kane and Snell, show up half an hour before the show comes on. I was like, Steve from Gloucester, that like he thinks he's a star. He shows up like a minute before. You know, he's not gonna talk. He's not gonna chat. You know, but right. He did. He said he blocked Casey, so that he blocked Casey.
Wow.
Yeah. So
big news.
Yeah. What do you think about? What do you think about Beyond Average not putting their podcast on the network?
Well, what's the reason why? Do we know why? Or
actually, people have said that Mick's mom told him not to put it on the network because she hates Kirk.
Oh wow, is that real?
How good are these sources?
These are good. These are great sources. This is Patrick Ford. He told me that joke. It actually hit better the second time.
It did. That's actually pretty funny.
I just got a text from Mick right now. The BAP episode is about to be sent over to me, so I guess there's no BAP coming out.
Oh, was it your fault?
No.
Oh, it was probably like a 400 gigs.
That wasn't my fault.
It was probably like 400 gigs. So
yeah. He has to send it an actual hard copy over. He can't send it through the internet until bandwidth is expanded.
So we never had Tom Shattuck on, though, huh? Just didn't happen, huh?
Shaddocks are sending over an episode 2 today. I just got them a new logo and the intro made. It's fucking nice.
How about have you been in touch with Let's Chat with Pat and Katz? Have you?
No, I think that's a Kirk venture.
Oh, it's that they go right to Kirk. Wow.
See, that's the thing about being an autonomous fucking network. See, we don't even have to worry. Whereas Menners worries about every single inch that people try to take on him. He worries about not here. And that's why
Menners' downfall was he was a micromanager.
Yes,
he really was.
He micromanaged to make sure I didn't have a part in anything, which was insane. It was just it's completely spiteful. Like I'm just here trying to Menners.
Menners was a huge micromanager. Like someone said the F word, and he was like, "No more calls. We can't have that." And it's like Menners, like what the call? Menners, and that was at a point where the calls were like we were getting.
That's why we haven't had calls.
We had 2 calls this episode, but that we got like 6, 7, and they were all pretty good.
And Menners like, no, that's when he was like, "Let's take a week off." And then 1 week later, I was CEO of the network. He's gone. 3 weeks later, he's a mess. 1 more week later after that, we have almost every day's worth of shows. A month after that, he's basically on his knees begging to come back. It's fucking wild. And people say I'm doing a bad job.
All right, I got another question.
Nice.
I got another one for you guys.
This is 60 minutes with Snell.
What do you guys think of Blind Mike and his interview with Lauren Compton? Kind of Kirk calling him out for how he changed his demeanor. What do you guys think about Blind Mike and that type of thing?
So like how he was like cool Mike.
Yeah, he was like, cool Mike. Definitely a different guy. Different guy when he's with Portnoy, different guy when he's with Kirk, different guy when he's with Compton. What do you guys think about that?
Almost as if he's like a weakened being in an unnatural state. And he's trying to adapt to survive almost. Maybe that's it. You never know.
I only saw the clips, but I thought it was kind of funny where cool guy Mike, cool guy Mike, where he was like, I can't, how would I know what my house
yeah,
looks
how the
like?
fuck would I know?
Yeah,
how would I know? Hey, that's like the Italian coming out in him, the Paisan. I didn't really watch the episode, so I can't really. I like, was he like that the whole time, or was that just the clips? Like the whole time he was like this.
Yeah, he was a completely different guy. Completely.
Did he get a Warthog like reference in or anything like that?
Like not that I picked up on.
If you got some reference, like when I went on with Lucy that one time, I remember like the biggest thing I regret is like I went on there and thought like I was on there. Like, no, dude, go on there and make references for Kirk to make fun of.
Don the jeweler said, "Is this going back to the hotel room? You're still slighted. He
a
didn't
little,
give you
a little spiteful.
walking stick." Actually, that's what you wanted to say. You said you wanted to.
No. That's what you wanted me to say. That's what you wanted me to say. I told you before the show that it was fucking 3 weeks ago. No one gives a shit. Are you
accusing BA of being scripted?
No. He was like, I wasn't asking Mike for the cane over and over. I was asking him, why are you mad that I asked you?
Right. Why were you mad? And why did you keep saying to me, why do you hate me? Why do you hate me?
Oh man,
that's what I was trying to get to the bottom of.
See, 60 minutes with Snell.
I mean, this camera that I'm using right now, I went to Mike, I DM'd him, I talked about equipment, everything that I have, a lot of the shit that I have, I talked with Mike.
You're telling me a lot of good advice. Blind guy about your camera?
Yes. Well, I mean, no one else would help me, so what the fuck?
Fair enough.
But I don't remember.
Gus better watch out.
You're right, I did.
Oh, you were saying you were asking Mike about his camera.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the guy. I have always liked Mike. He's always been my favorite. I will say though, since that night in the room, he does come off a little bit disingenuous to me. And I'll say this: Portnoy was bad at articulating his beef with Mike.
You're fat.
I think I understand it now. Is that whichever way the wind is blowing, that is which way Blind Mike is going.
Since Mike didn't let you had this big walking stick walking stick battle, you and Portnoy, you got to see eye to eye with Mike. Like he's kind of
110%.
That's funny. That was funny.
Mike,
I actually thought
Mike did like, and you realize this when like we've been able to hang out with my late night. We know what happened that late night, but like he goes into the show and completely buries the whole, like it was a fun time that night. He was like, yeah, I wish I wasn't there. I think there was a girl strapped to the bed and like, blah. It's like, well, it's like, that's not what it was.
Oh, so yeah, when Jay walked in, that's when I knew it was time for me to leave.
Yeah, it was just all wrong.
Jay was
out of
there.
here. Yeah. So full of shit. Even Coleman, I stood up when Jay walked in. I thought it was time to go too.
He wasn't there. Jay got there before them.
Fuck out of here, you full of shit.
Also,
dude, the
something you hurt your feelings a little bit.
Oh
no,
yeah. Snell's
hurt.
Wait, you know what it was?
Snell still won't do a show on the network because of it.
You know what it is?
It
sucks when they call you out and you don't have a way to respond, even though only 100 people will see it. It sucks. You know what I mean? So,
well, and you don't have a vote. Like you can't go like you can't call in and be like, "That's not what happened." No. He said yes yesterday. Like, no, you can't do that. You just have to. That's reality now. That's what happened. There was a girl.
I actually thought Mike was.
He was the man.
Opposite. I thought he was the opposite of you. I thought he was like. I was like, oh, this guy. He's a pretty.
No, he like. I always looked at him like he hated me and you, BA, because like back in the day we used to fucking torment Mike, but like, and you called his girlfriend's feet big, so like I thought he hated us, but like I think he low-key kind of likes us, which is good. I don't care if he likes us, but like, which is rare if people like us after we go after them.
Heard another rumor. BA Mike might be involved in the mailbox stuff. Oh, interesting.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Mike sending the mail.
Patrick Ford really getting original once again.
Wow.
Fucking low-hanging fruit, Pat Ford. That's what we should call him from now on.
That was a wild story, though. That was an all-timer. So,
no, if anyone wants to come on, let me know. You can come
Yeah,
on.
have you blacklisted any guests?
No gotcha moments. Mike and the Minifans is a gotcha moment free zone.
I'll tell you what. Shout out to a meeting of the minds last night because we had Tony, Bobby Downs, and Wagon on at the same time, and Jay. Like, if you think about it, like it's like a natural filter to make sure, make sure everybody's happy. So shout out GB for that. Thanks. I did just pat myself on the back. Yes.
Wow. Any calls, John?
No. Do you want me to ask somebody to call in? I could.
Yeah.
That's what I had to do for Menners in the beginning.
Yeah, call in. We'll wrap this up in a little bit, but call in 844-906-3800. 60 minutes with Snell will be so I think 60 minutes with Snell we're gonna get Gus. I think Gus should be the first episode. What do you think, Snell?
I like the idea of, like we were talking about before, we'll do Gus first, a little bit of a tiny celebrity status there. We'll try to poach some eyeballs with the big Gus. And then after that, I don't know. Well, I want to keep a little bit, close to the vest of who we're interviewing, but we got some big names. I'd like to get some of. How do you think Kirk would feel if we got some of his enemies on? If we could,
I think you would. I think you would like him. Oh, we have a caller.
Yeah, 908.
908. Welcome to Beep.
Curious. Do you think Montante saved Snell's life yet when he DM'd him a couple weeks back?
Sounds like Montante.
That's a great question.
That's a great question. Very insightful.
People are asking.
Okay, thank you.
This call was brought to you by Spiegel Scrap, everyone. Spiegel Scrap. I think he did save your. I think he did save your life. What do you think, Snell? Did he play a little part?
Look, I mean, Montante's done a lot of good things for me, but I would never betray his confidence by talking about what we've talked about.
The last thing I would ever.
I would never. I would never like publish DMs or anything.
Is Mike Montante saving me from killing myself because he would hold that over you for years and years.
Hey Steve, what's the gist of the show? I don't think I've missed this. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. You're doing an interview show?
Yeah, BA, you can explain it.
So 60 Minutes with Snell, it will be a deep dive interview, one-on-one, Snell and one other person, and Snell is going to get into the mind of that person and really get to the root of whatever Snell's trying to get to the root of. So
is it in person or is it like one that's all like?
Well, it'll have to be Zoom, but hopefully, like the goal, if we get funding in person, it could be huge.
Like if you have a blind stick, he's not going to let it go.
I was saying
this is deep dive stuff.
I was saying watching Snell like grill someone like right in.
You were like obsessed with it. You kept bringing it up that you're like, I love watching Snell. Like
watching Snell like grill people like on like
face to face.
Just really like they'll say something back and he would rip apart each thing that they said back, and I was like, this has. It could be a bust.
I told you were my number one in my Mount Rushmore after the Portland show. I am buy heavy on Snell right now. Buy.
Yeah. So that, I think that's we have a good thing going with Snell, and I think Snell would be good in studio because Snell would be very prepared. Like I think he would, and I don't think he would get too nervous. Like I think he would come in with a lot of good talk, like a lot of.
You went in there once before, right, Snell?
I've been in there twice. The second time was really, really, really bad. Like I didn't say anything. So I hadn't smoked weed for like 5 weeks prior to that show, and so on the way down to do Kirk's show, I stopped. I got one of those fucking vape pens that I've never tried before. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get stoned before the show. It'll be a celebration. So that night I didn't do it. I said, you know what? You've quit for over a month. Don't. Well, at 6:00 the next morning, I decided I'm going to get stoned out of my mind before the Kirk Cunningham show.
That's a terrible.
And I walked into that studio, blasted out of my mind, and I had an awful appearance. I had an awful time. I was terrified. Yeah, it was not good.
Like that
not good.
That's right to where he is today. So
I think if you need to ease the nerves, like smoking weed is the opposite, because then you won't talk. You need to like take a do a nip, like a airplane bottle or something.
Yeah, that's true. Get a little.
I think that will get you a little bit talking more than than smoking some weed.
Yeah, no, that was a terrible idea.
But if you're if you have to talk to new people or in front, that's the weed will be turned on your fucking
especially that's it's kind of like a weird situation. Like you're in
you have a guy who you're afraid is every move and he actually doesn't care about you, which makes you feel even worse. That's a lot of paranoia there.
Yeah, but I don't know. Kirk's really cool though. Every time I've gone in there twice now, he's said hello before the show, real quick, and then after the show, he'll thank you for coming. And he's not like a dick like some people think he is. He's actually a really nice guy. Don't tell him I said that.
Yeah.
Mike and the Minifans brought to you by Trump 2024 coin. I actually said Montante sponsored the show because he's not cheating. He's buying, he's investing. The Dr. Vodka nip strategy. Good call, BA. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, at least Vodka's not on this episode.
No. Vodka's not on Mike and the Minifans. I should have told you, you have to show your face. You can't be like an anonymous, or you could call in. I think that's
it was a little weird for Coleman to go to Steve's card night, huh? Isn't that a little strange?
I told them to hop on the show. I told them to pop in here. I told them.
Wait, what? What's he doing?
So Coleman went to.
That's pretty funny.
Coleman went to.
Sorry, so let's not say it. Let's not say it.
Coleman went to Steve from Gloucester's card night. They talked about it on the 14th.
Oh, I thought you said card tonight.
Well, they are together tonight. All of them are at his house.
I'm just surprised that he didn't try to turn that into content or something like that.
But I think he
did. He filmed stuff. He said he filmed stuff there.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
So what you're saying is he did his job. So what you're saying, people aren't going to like me in this episode. I feel like already.
You seem like you're a little more fired up today. What's going on, John?
Simply nothing is different. Simply nothing is different. Some days I talk like this. Some days I talk like that. One day, one dog's facing east. One dog's facing west.
John's a big just talk. When John starts talking, just get out of his way and then try to pick your spots.
I make sure my mic isn't as good as everybody else's. So you can really, if you just start talking, you actually go over me.
No, on these shows, if two people are talking at the same time, you can't hear them. Yeah. It's just you have to. It has to be you talk. I talk.
Right. I'm gonna get going though, but bye. BA,
thank you so much.
Thank
you. I think it's pretty fucked up. You're doing a show on the other network, but I just want you to know you're allowed to because this is a free country, buddy. God bless America.
Thank you. And Snell, nice working with you, my friend. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye now.
I'm over here looking at the show notes for the 16th show, and they're just hilarious.
I can't believe Snell's name is just Team Menners right now.
What show?
Cock.
The show with Mick and Al, the show notes are fucking hilarious.
Yo, that show was. I am such an Al guy. I hate that I like Mick this much now.
Wait, what? Oh, you're saying after the show you were more of a Mick guy?
Well, I was an Al guy for a long time. And Mick used to just annoy me back in the day until the producer race when I realized oh, Mick's actually he's a grind, he grinds and shit. So, but now I love him.
But you're also kind of wishy-washy too, because didn't you say not that long ago that when you leave
let him talk, John, get it, let him talk.
When you leave the studio, that's the worst thing you could do. Didn't you say that 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, I said that, but I also agree with him.
But so then how could you, I don't know, conflate that with Mick, who bounced in the middle of the show?
If you leave the world, it would have been worse. Leaving the studio, I think, is one. It's like when Tangway did it back. You never leave. I agree with BA on that. But he did it, and Mick came back.
Worse than Tangway.
Sorry is.
Well, I said that about Clemmer. I was talking about Clemmer.
Well, yeah, but still,
right. It doesn't matter who it is. A Tangway, Clemmer, or fucking.
But the Mick studio leave was actually
he left them with nothing.
That was that was such a funny show because it started late, and the first thing you heard is "You've earned nothing, you stupid fuck," or something like that, or "You've earned nothing." You're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And he's like, and it's all about it. Kirk actually, so Kirk in that moment, if you look back at it, kind of did like a bit an Al thing to Mick, like Mick, get me that water. Like Mick was the guy that they made like. Him. Mick was the guy in the house. Dude, they're like, "Hey, I need a beer. Can you get the beers, Mick? Go get the beers." It
doesn't matter though. You'd have to do it. You're the producer. He's your but like you fucking like a fucking whipped boy. Go get that fucking drink and be like, "Here it is, sir." Like, what are you? Like he signs your check, dude. But that's why Mick is fucking smart.
A lot of people are saying beyond average once a month, once a week. I think once a quarter, like 4 times a year.
Oh, in studio.
Yeah. Like I think the saga of the Marx brothers would be great. Kirk actually said his favorite moment was in a long time was Al saying that Kirk did the leap year or that Mick did the Little League leap year, and he said they should have a sitcom. He's like, and I was like, it would be funny, like Mick, the Marx brothers, and they are living with their crazy aunt Linda Marx. That would be a good KMS.
That's why I love that
episode. KMS sitcom.
You could tell Kirk fucking enjoyed himself on that episode, and like weeks leading up to it, he wasn't looking forward, didn't think they were going to get a lot of juice out of that, and they squeezed that fucking juice out of that shit because it was amazing.
But that wasn't even like Kirk having to squeeze
the juice.
It was just like
it was a perfect situation.
But it was a great moment in that too, was when Kirk was like, "Do you love your brother? Yes. Do you want him? Do you want him to succeed? Yes. Do you think he is going to succeed? No." Like that was a great line of questioning. That was a great line of questioning for that was
when the number I sent that video in the group thread, but it's like when he was like, "All right, then you tell me why I'm a 7 and you're a 5."
Yeah.
Like Mick is great. Like he's just better on the mic than people.
Oh, he's so like on the mic, Mick is like
because he's quiet in person, bro. He stays to himself. He doesn't come over and like talk to people. They just sit like the BA boys.
Mick, I could see Mick is like a guy that I think like how he said he's great at parties or whatever, like or maybe dinner parties. Maybe he's right because in a big group situation, I think he's quiet. But if you're in like if it's like 4 people, Mick's probably the funniest guy. Like he's probably cracking jokes and like
it takes him a while to break the crowd, but once they do, they're all circling him. Yeah, I agree.
I feel bad for him losing a hot ass girlfriend like that is not.
I told him I don't.
Especially when you look like you're about to die.
Yeah, that's not easy. And the first thing she wanted to do was go out and just get some huge dick.
We gotta call it.
Holy fuck! This is why we need 60 minutes with Snell.
601.
601. Welcome to Beep Live. Host of IPA.
Come on, then.
Hey, what's up? It's 601. What's up, John?
What's up, man?
Hey, you hit the nail on the head about Kirk and show on the 16th with the brothers. The shows, to me, were not 10X this week, except for that show. And I like the idea of having Mick like maybe once or twice a week. And Coleman better get off his ass and start getting some guys in there that are electric.
Yeah.
Like the number 1 third chair, Mike Montante, because Kirk kind of subtly said on Monday that he was kind of tired of the show and was talking about, not even doing the 4-year deal. Yeah. And that is a recipe for one thing, and that's a Mike Montante show.
All right, dude. Yeah. Dude.
And Mike, actually, Mike Montante is now island rich off Joe Budden coin and Trump 2024.
Island rich, baby.
He could go into the studio whenever he wants.
I'm talking about $100,000 fluctuations by the hour.
Private planes. He's taking private planes.
Nothing like hearing the South rise for Montante. Beautiful call. Anything else, buddy?
That's right. And they need to. Coleman needs to watch out because Nick is nipping on his heels, even though he doesn't want to hear it when Kirk says it.
Yeah. Mick is doing a great job, right? And what I like is he's doing those 2 shows a week. Like that's what like Portnoy and them fucking hire people on. They want to see that you're doing a show all the time, and then they hire you on that random thing, which I always thought.
100%. And shout out to Allison's cleavage. That was fantastic last week. And that stupid motherfucker Red talking about the Yak it's not a good show, and there's no talented people on it. Kate's got more talent in her right saggy kitty than Red has in his whole body.
Well, Red has nice titties, though.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Y'all come back now. You here?
Yeah, there was easily the call of the day.
This was one of my favorite moments of the Mick call. Oh, sorry.
Justin was just nice to point out that I didn't want to mention that he brought it up. So I thought it was
Wait. Sorry.
It wasn't on the show. No. Justin was just nice to point out that I didn't want to mention that he brought it right up. So I thought it was nice. But you don't want to get on the show. Fine. I know. I didn't want to get into it. I wasn't like, oh, this Justin, take a breath. It's okay.
Oh, that's good.
What's up, buddy?
Hey,
Hello.
How are you boys?
Doing?
What's up? What are you guys doing?
We are currently in the Beyond residence. We just filmed Beyond the Third Chair. We got Mick over here.
Mick. Hey, how are you?
Hey, bud.
We got cousin Christian.
What up? Oh my God.
Everything okay in that household right now? Tensions are everything settled down after the episode the other day?
I hope so. Unless Mick's doing a really good job of hiding it if there are.
That shows how good of a guy Christian is, though. A mediator, if anything.
I'll tell you one thing. I like these dogs a lot. They're very normal.
Dude, that video, like, you did a perfect job of editing that video, because just like the anxiety I felt from those dogs felt like I was watching Uncut Gems, dude. It was insane.
I know, these guys are great. Super chill. They're hanging on the couch. They're
Howard and Hank.
Wow. Justin, I was saying, I think I agree with you. Like, I feel like if Al and Mick were in studio, like every time you go in, Al will be progressively more crazy, and people would start seeing Mick's side.
I think it's one of those things where it's always, you always look at, like, in any relationship, you look and go, oh, that person's the crazy person. And then you get to know him and you go, there's actually two sides to the story here. Yeah. So I think there would be. I'm not saying Mick would be 100% out of the right, in the right, and Al would be 100% out of the right. But I think it's more closer to the center than people took from Tuesday.
There were two very big moments in that episode where, like, you realize, like, oh my God, is he fucking pulling one over on us? Like, when he asked, like, I thought that whole thing was about me. That one, I don't remember what it was, but it was like a perfect Mick example. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
There was so many.
Not sure, no.
There were so many, like, little things, but I was saying. In the future, like, I think 2-3 years from now, Mick and Al are in once a quarter. We'll be saying, you know what, Al was an asshole for that $200. Al was a slap in the face. Like, I think
he very well could be.
Yeah, I think Mick, there's something to it.
So what? You guys were filming something to come out for what, next week?
No, probably tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, look at these guys, fucking well-oiled.
And then should also have an additional vlog coming soon as well. Aiming for Sunday. Yeah.
Dance on them, kid. Dance.
I did say some of these. Snell, I think, was saying what were the producers been doing, and I said, you guys during this break, the off week, probably did more than most producers have in the history.
I guess, but we could always be doing more.
Always doing better, right? There you go.
Hey, how many hours?
I was waiting for Justin.
That's an improvement.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you didn't have. It's different. I don't know. Having Gus there was the chaos that you needed, but during times like that, I bet it feels a lot better when you guys have your work done.
Yeah. How many hours a week do you guys think you work on the show? Like 50, 60?
I don't even know if I can really
I don't know
the exact number, just because I'm always kind of at least thinking about it,
It's like
it seems kind of like 24/7 at times.
I guess, but it's not like, I don't know. I don't know if it's 60 or it's tough to put a number on it.
I think Snell is like, how many labor hours is it?
Yeah, but like
labor hours. I mean, it's a podcast. It's not very much, but
you don't count hours in labor hours. You're making fucking video.
Thinking about it he wants Snell wants you guys to clock in and clock out every time.
No, I do have a question. I do have a question for you. So you said that Blind Mike's story you were asking about his cane was complete bullshit, correct?
No, it wasn't complete bullshit. But
Definitely wasn't. I was there.
It was different.
Snell, say your side. This is Snell's side.
That's what I want to get to.
All right. So I asked him if I could see the cane. Okay. And he said no. And he, like I said before, he kept telling me or asking me, why do you hate me so much? Why do you hate me so much? And so then I asked him, why are you not letting me see the fucking cane? Okay. And that was what the crux of the issue was. I didn't give a fuck about actually getting my hands on the cane. I wanted to know why this guy that I really liked, who I think is one of the best, my second favorite podcast, why he thought I fucking hated his guts.
Snell was waving in his face. Give me the fucking cane.
So that's
I like Mike.
He wasn't asking for the cane. He was saying, "Why won't you give me?"
Yeah, like what did I do to you to piss you off so much?
Oh,
why
I
do you
see.
think I hate your guts.
That's where we did. People did him dirty because
almost like
I thought it was like a why can't I just hold it for a little bit? It was more of like why me personally.
That was the initial question. The very first time I asked, I said, "Oh, can I see that? I wanted to see it."
Snell
and then after that, it was about the fucking stupid cane.
That's what I. Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
I'll talk to Mike, and next time you see him, I'll make sure he hands it over.
Thank you, Justin.
VIP session of Snell. Can you touch it?
I actually thought Justin didn't like me because I went up to Justin at Grill on the Hill and I tried talking to him and he just like gave me like two dirty looks. I don't know. Maybe
it definitely wasn't dirty looks. It was just I was probably just very anxious and trying to get everything. I come off like a dick sometimes when you're on the clock.
When you're on the clock, you're 100% on work. Like
when there's an event going on, especially I wanted it to be good.
Justin's he can make you question your relationship with him at any point in time. You're just like,
God. Yeah. People like Mike thinks I hate him every other week. He's like, I think Justin hates me. Like my parents think that too. They're like, something's off with you, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just
fucking nervous, man.
What are you boys getting going out in the town? Maybe like taking Mick out bachelor party style, or like he just
bachelor party. It's not bachelor party.
That's what the Canadians call it.
Rough and rowdy.
What I was saying, I meant
BuyRNR.com.
style, like
you still get it.
Oh, buy R&R, yes, buy R&R.
Would you say, BA? Like in the future?
No, I'm saying you got to take Mick out. The boys just got out of the relationship. You got to go out in town. Get some girls, strip club. Yeah.
Hey, I'm a strip club guy.
Yeah, you should. I think that maybe that could be.
Me too, Justin.
Mick to the stripper, Mick to the rippers. That would be great.
I go for the choreography.
We'll all go to Club Alex's for Bridget.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate you guys coming on here. What are the BA boys doing? We did Rough and Rowdy. It's, I assume, almost over, right?
No, we haven't had the main fight yet. This is the 18th fight.
Oh, okay. Is it a good one?
It's been good. It's been good.
Fighting Leprechaun was entertaining. Came out ripping some jorts.
Those are the best live events you could go to. Like best live events.
Me personally, my favorite live events are the Kirkman Hand Show.
Oh
yeah. Other than that,
that's why you're hired and I'm not. There it is. I'm unloyal and you're smart, Justin.
And hey, Coleman, has there been any 50-10 rounds yet? Have you seen any of those tonight?
Yeah, no. Came close, so keep an eye on the scoring. I actually did look into that and figured it out the other day, and I'm a complete dumbass.
All right, so what happened with the old seating controversy? Because that's been controversial on this program tonight.
Yeah, people are saying that you were faking it.
Yes.
The seating? No. It legitimately, like, when there's like a static TV, like that's just what my brain in that moment went through. I blame new math in schools, how they teach new math. It was like I couldn't get from A to B.
That you didn't know that the 1 seed wouldn't play the 3 seed, or
like even if you couldn't figure it out right away, you would.
It's like a multi-part step that I was missing. The fact that like it would end up being 1 through 4 if all of the top seeds won and advanced to the next.
Can we just talk about how Kirk made the perfect analogy by saying it's like Coleman I don't know if it was Kirk, but they were like, it's like Coleman has a book report due and he doesn't know anything for it. Well, who said, was that you, Justin?
I think it was Kirk.
Was it? It was. It was an analogy because, like, when you're trying to think of a sports thing and you don't know it, that's exactly what you feel like. It's like I have to give a report in front of class and everyone's judging me.
Well, I think talks like a high school girl who just found out, like, oh, you guys watching the football game Sunday? You know, I'm watching Sunday at 1. Patriots versus the New York Football Giants. I'll be there.
6 o'clock tomorrow.
Touchdown. Yeah, you just bump a guy. You should touch.
Oh yeah. Tom Brady's gonna score some touchdowns. And you're like, okay, yeah, we get it.
I was saying, like, you need to do like Coleman and that what's the movie? The Vegas movie where like all the numbers are going around him.
Oh, The Hangover.
The Hangover. They put Coleman on The Hangover. Like
that's what it felt like in that moment.
Trying to figure out.
I know that shit because of the bracket, like the back of my hand now, because I have to tweet it. But that's the only reason.
Even if you didn't know, you would go, okay.
Maybe we should get out.
See you, boys.
But even if you didn't know it, you would be like one beat 8, 2 beat 7, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you want
to. It was one of those things that I needed to like physically like type out in order to visualize it. And
I have one more question. I have one more question for Coleman. Do you think you fumbled the booty call that girl was calling you? You know. To try to get laid, you know, back in the small Jersey town.
Well, that's kind of what I thought. Like, it was so out of the blue. But then again, like I said, I saw her later that night, and she completely ignored me after that entire interaction, which was super.
Did you go up to her?
Did
you go up to her or no?
She was talking to someone, and I tried to make an attempt, like, "Hey, what's up? Like, I'm here and all." And then she was like, gave me like a 1 second thing, and then went, and I saw her later and just like talking to like 2 other dudes. So I was like, all right.
But maybe it was playing some games, like she wanted you to come.
It's not worth it.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah, well, just thought we'd hop on and say, BA, thanks for bringing Menors Live back.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Stay it here.
Glad to hop on Menors Live.
We appreciate you for dealing with all the legal battles that Menors is putting us through, Justin.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, boys.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Wow.
Justin goes,
wow.
I thought I got in trouble for a second because maybe Justin doesn't know Menors is doing Menors Live after this Menors Live. So.
I was really trying to just go long enough so we could go into Menors time.
No, I don't want it. I feel like we're.
I know you're so loyal to him. Everyone on this goddamn show talks about.
No, I'm not talking.
Goddamn loyal guy on this show.
I feel like this is we have any more calls.
Just a show full of fucking rats.
Like who? How am I a rat? Because I'm on the show.
Name right now, Snell, is Team Menors. Then I have Kane in here saying, oh, yeah, none of you are loyal to Menors while he's on our network and then going to do a show with Mafuste. But no, I'll take it. It's okay because I know how to like handle my boys being rats because they've got to say,
you got to say Kirk owns both networks. It's bipartisan.
That's right.
You know, you got to say Menors lost his cafe. He lost.
I mean, if I'm a fucking rat, what does that make you? The king rat? The CEO rat?
There you go, Snell. Get him.
Guess so.
I can't wait.
That's what do you think gets you to the top?
Top 4 hates Menors.
The way I look at it is if I don't come on here because I'm in solidarity with Menors, then no one is getting Menors's, sympathies out.
I appreciate that you now have some backup there because I'll tell you what, fighting a war against Menors and Menors alone was something I am not morally ready to ever do again because I did not like where it led. I didn't like that phone call. It made me uncomfortable. Like I was worried.
It was a low moment.
It was a low moment for all of us. I felt worse about us doing a good job because Menors felt left out, and that's all that matters to me.
I don't blame him for being pissed at all you guys. You guys showed him no fucking loyalty.
He told me to do this. And I told him I was going to do this the whole time I was with him. And you can fucking look that up.
People are saying Marlon Wayne Industries recently invested in Joe Budden Coin, and now the chart is through the roof. They're back, baby. Marlon Wayne Industries.
Why do you think I'm so talkative? Oh, we got a caller.
Oh, caller.
781.
You know what? 781. Welcome to Menors Live, hosted by B. I'm going to say it. I'm not afraid of the lawsuit.
Hey, Freddie Lynn here.
Hey Freddie. That's how Freddie Lynn talks in person, too. Oh, wait, it's him. Go ahead.
Hey, quick question for Snell. Hey, Snell. You weren't in the Jeopardy tournament. Would you be willing to go on a future KMS game show where you are quizzed on your trivia knowledge?
I will, but I will do very, very poorly. I'll be one of the worst contestants.
Snow would get bodied.
Snow's not good at tests.
I'm not good at I couldn't even remember the Coleman booty call thing for like the first 30 seconds of us talking about it today. So like I just have a bad memory with that shit.
That's okay. Sometimes I forget what happened yesterday, but I remember what happened 3 years ago.
Okay, that's one way to put it for sure. Yeah,
but yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the only reason I couldn't do the last one was because I wasn't in. I was out of town, so.
I think you would have done well, like in that Jeopardy tournament, because it wasn't really stacked.
I watched some of it. I did, and I tried to answer. I did not do good.
Okay, well,
yeah, I did not do good.
All right, straight from the horse's mouth, then.
Anything else?
But I'll do it.
Yeah. What do you guys think is gonna? How do you think the movie thing is gonna go for Kirk next week when he's back in Chicago?
I'll tell you what, they're lucky they have a guy like Kirk that just at least shows some interest in the shit they do at Barstool anymore.
The good thing will be if a video is really bad, like Kirk will I think Kirk's the perfect Simon Cowell kind of judge there, because he'll be a dick but funny too, you know.
Yeah, I think it's odd when Kirk is not on the A team for anything that they do with Barstool. It's really a shock.
As the judge, I think that's high honor.
No, it is, but it's always shocking to me. Like, what was Portnoy and him talking about? I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and Kirk was kind of questioning, like, I'm not going to be in that. Was it the Survivor thing? Like, it's stuff like that.
Yeah, but you hear what Portnoy did immediately. He started to use it like against Kirk. He was like,
right,
yeah, I love that. I think those two are the best on a mic together. Ryan Whitney's kind of just fodder.
I think
Go
ahead, Freddie.
It was when he told Kirk he didn't get an automatic invite to the next season of Surviving.
Yes, yeah. No.
But I think if Kirk was on there with like Kelly Keegs and a bunch of like nobodies, like that wouldn't be as funny, because they would just vote him out right away.
Heard it here first, folks. BA doesn't want women on next season.
No. Like I think Portnoy said it too. If he's like, if it was like a similar cast, for sure Kirk would be on. But would you put him on with like?
Yeah, I would put him on with Kelly Keegs. You imagine, like, well, look at what him and Nate did.
But like even it's a B-list crew.
Even in the mini golf, he started off the day kind of with the A crew, and then as the day went on, he kind of was in the B team or the C team. I don't know. I'm just shocked when they do that to him.
Well, I think he would have been in the. He was expected to be in the final grouping. You know,
I don't care what. If you're a Barstool fan and you're just randomly watching content that Kirk ends up in, and you just kind of get a little bit of the Minifan world, just like a taste of it, I don't know how you just instantly don't get trapped into becoming a Minifan. Like, it's what else is Barstool?
Because sometimes they're like, imagine turning on the episode and it's Mick and Al, and it's like,
bro,
the thing is, you could turn it, but you could turn it off really fast and be like, what is this? But if you listen, I feel like the show, if you listen for 5 minutes, you're going to listen for another 5. And if you listen for another 5, you're going to listen for another 10. And but it's like that first like 30 seconds, you're like,
I think you just have to be okay with listening for like 2 weeks and not knowing anything, you know, and just being like just a straight guppy.
There's a big difference, though, between Kirk on Barstool and Kirk when he's on his own show, because when he's at Barstool, a lot of times he's the only person bringing fucking life to whatever he's on. And I feel like he knows that, and he kind of goes above and beyond to make it interesting.
That's a shitty spot to be, because then they expect you to be the fucking firecracker, and it's like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not a fucking clown. Freddie, you have anything else before I'm going to get rid of you?
No, I think, John, you're right. The thing you just said, I forget. John was right.
Thanks, bud. Wow. I love you.
Bye, Freddie.
That's huge.
That's loyalty, by the way. My guys are loyal. I don't care what you say. My guys will start thick and thin.
All right, boys. So, any final thoughts? Any final calls?
I subjectively was looking for the outro to this episode, and I found what I would consider the better version of rap about Cedar Park, but I got what you needed, so that's going to be the outro.
Nice.
Oh, why way to fucking spoil it?
I mean, they're going to see it in 2 seconds, BA.
Oh, I know, but it would have been nice.
But I'm telling you, go Google the other one. It's better than Jeff Delo's. That's what I want.
What's the other one?
Dude, it's this kid. It's 10 times better than Jeff Delo's. Like, this is a good fucking rap. Well, it's not good, but I don't know why there's 2 Cedar Park raps.
All right. Thank you, Snell. We'll be in touch. 60 Minutes with Snell. Big premiere whenever it happens. Big project. We got everyone working on it. John, great work as always. The CEO. Thank you for coming in. And thank you for Mike Montante sponsor this episode after he just got rich off Trump 2024 coin and Geo Budden coin. We'll see you next week, fellas.
The soul of the game. That's G.
It, but 7 hours a day I'm devoted to my brackets. See me every day, I'm on the sports report. All my close friends, they be hiking up my shorts. Rolling with my boys, we ain't smoking joints. We up at Tiger Mart getting us some icy points. Spent summer on my couch watching Olympics in Beijing. Oh my god, my boy Usain is amazing. Off-campus lunch, don't get stopped by Dana Farr. He gets out the way anytime he sees our car. We post it on the silent every single Friday. We're the realest school in District 65. Hey,
this is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar. This is Cedar. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar. This is Cedar. This is Cedar Park. Our parents call us in before it gets too dark. This is Cedar. This is Cedar. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar. This is Cedar. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. I go by CP3. You've probably seen me out on the hardwood J in threes. Last name is Turner, but the H is silent. If you call me Thurner, don't think I won't get violent. Check me out at PNG, I guarantee I'll make you laugh. My comedy is magic like a wizard and his staff. Catch me on 620, weaving in my Lancer. Only song I cruise to is Elton's Tiny Dancer.
All the hopes are tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the...
Get my feast on at the local IHOP. Never-ending pancakes means my breakfast doesn't stop. Vista and Leander are my 2 favorite schools. What I just said was a lie. All their guys are tools. Why read other news when I've got the wolf pack? Call me OJ, cause I just killed the track.
This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar. This is Cedar. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar. This is Cedar. This is Cedar Park. Our parents call us in before it gets too dark. This is Cedar. This is Cedar. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar. This is Cedar. This is Cedar Park. This is Cedar Park. My friends call me Big Sex. 6745111. Send me a text. Every single night, I'm hitting up the parties. You know I'm getting love from several fine sharties. Posted in my realities, I'm referring to my glasses. If you're talking mess, we'll be kicking your butts. You may already know techno and trance are my faves. You can always find me getting bucket all the raves. Hunger pains attacking, don't try to fight 'em. Go to Randall's for some fresh food items. Or if I'm thinking fast food, Wada is the place to go. This guy works here, and he is my bro. Rip1512 from morning till dark. Realest place on earth, y'all know is Cedar Park.